Alrighty. Getting ready a little early today. There we go. Alrighty. Getting ready a little early today. Hey everybody, I am Timback Jr. Welcome to my channel here on Twitch. And we're going to do some retro gaming today, as always. We're going to play one of my favorite, in fact, my absolute favorite game of all time would be Galaga. This was inspired by a discussion we had last Saturday. But I was hoping to actually take it by my Ms. Pac-Man Academy because it actually has a multi-cade in it. We're play Galaga. But couldn't get the sound right on the camera, so I decided to do it here on my little Twitch studio, and so why not? It'll be perfect. Normally I get a few things ready to go, and it's not happening. So, okay, we'll persevere nonetheless. Today we're going to play a few games. Hey, Ben, welcome aboard. Sorry for the early start. We kind of had to shift our start just a tad early because I got to leave early than usual. So it may not be a 2-hour stream today, but we're going to get what we can. We got 4 games we're going to play. We're going to play Galaga. Did you know that Galaga actually had a sequel, a direct sequel called Gapless, sometimes called Galaga 3, depending on where you are. And then there was a couple of updates. They had a Galaga 88 from Namco, which was by Atari here in North America. And that came out, of course, in, 1988. And then in 1996, they came out with the Namco Collections Volume 1 out in the arcades and contained 3 games. And they also had advanced versions of said games. And one of those just happened to be Galaga. So we're going to enjoy that as well. But first, we're going to take a break, get everything set up as best I can. Stand by for just about 2 minutes. We'll be right back. In the meantime, enjoy these ads. They're going to try to sell you stuff because that's how it works. Back in a minute. Ah, yes. So, both viewers, how you doing today? I'm also going to go over the recent follow that we had post-stream. Give a small thanks to that. Why not? Good stuff. So I've kind of mentioned that this is not like a streamable game, and it largely isn't. At least the way I play. I play a bit differently than most people. Because everyone wants to do that double shift thing. Well, not me. That's not what I do. Play it just a tad differently. You'll see. We've got another 55 seconds or so left on stream. Like I said, I'm going to be leaving a little early today because I have to. It's just the way it works sometimes. When you have stuff to do on the road, sometimes things kind of divert a bit. But that's fine. It's just how it works. Another half minute or so. Make sure everything's here. Do the Galaga with a fast shoot hack. Not really a hack, it's a daughter board. I'll get to that when we get there. I actually have that. I have a Galaga board as well. It hooks up to Ms. Pac-Man, but it doesn't. So there's that. And here we are. Switch to the right at some point. There it is. My community is back. Hey, community. Glad you're here. Glad I'm here. Glad we're all here on this fine Saturday, March 16th. My time has been flying just like that. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to play a little bit of Galaga. Now, Galaga is a special game for me because I remember Marty, my dad's friend, took me to see it on one of his premieres down here in this market. And I was just mesmerized. The game was just simply gorgeous. I remember playing Galaxian. I noticed the similarity in the logo and all that kind of stuff. And Galaxian, as masterful as it was a clone, more or less, of Space Invaders, with a twist. And that twist was simply, the ships would come down at you instead of like in marching line. They'd come just fly straight at you, dropping bombs and all that kind of neat stuff. And that's great. I love that. But Galaga did something else. They come up in these wonderful patterns, go into formation, capture your ship so that you can now be a double ship, twice the firepower, have instead of 1 shot per screen, 2 shots per screen, and it was just lightning fast. What a marvelous game. And I wanted to learn its game mechanics as best as possible, so I just played the damn thing over and over and over again. And over the years, it's been out since 1981. And over the years, you just play the thing. And this is my chill game. It's a game where if I've had a really bad day, that's where I go play on my Ms. Pac-Man. I have a Galaga board, but unfortunately it doesn't work with Ms. Pac-Man because it is compatible. They use the same harness. This is before JAMA, the Japanese arcade multi-machine apparatus. This is before that thing came about. So, I could use the joystick, but I had no fire button because Ms. Pac-Man doesn't have a fire button. But the multicade is adapted for my Ms. Pac-Man, and it uses the start buttons as your fire buttons, and it's really, really cool. Really, really like it. But we're going to play it here on the emulation here, because I don't want to get a big ass harness and connect it to the thing and all that. Okay, so without further ado, let's see if I can get this running without. I jumped to the wrong board. There it goes. Okay. Don't know why it does that. Let's go ahead and get that started. And we're going to hear a big boom here in a second, because that's Galaga powering up. In fact, let's go ahead and go to the vertical arcade board. There it is. It's pseudo on my Pac-Man cabinet out in the garage. There it is. Alright, Galaga. The game. And the game is quite simple. Now, we're going to use the one with the, they call it a hack in here. There you go. That's why he misses the ships. The shots are at maximum speed. In other words, you're going to be shooting 2 shots, but much faster. Now, it's just simply a daughter board added to the motherboard in order for you to enable that. Same way we got Ms. Pac-Man, by the way. All Ms. Pac-Man is a daughter board with extra programming that transforms the Pac-Man programming into what you see. And that's what happens here. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? And I'm going to turn this down just a tad because I know it gets a little loud. That should be good enough. Okay. Let's throw in a credit. Yeah. All right, let's get going. Music to my ears. There you go. Now, I play it a little differently. I don't play Galaga with the double ship mode. The reason being simply because you're that much bigger as a target, and you lose lives faster. I didn't see what setting I had it on. I know I have it on 3 lives. And even with the double speed, even with the extra speed of shots, it just goes right on through. It's weird. All right, here we go. Yeah, hard to get that 40 ships. It's only the 1. I've done it, but it's just really hard to do. That's 4, I think. Yep. 36, not too bad. What's sad, that's actually one of my ringtones on my phone. If I don't know who you are, that's what I do. Like I said, amazingly playable game. It is a hard game, I've gotten over 1 million points in this game. Not playing it that way, though. There you go. Little tidbits of the game that I've also loved. If you happen to shoot the flagship, I know what's going to happen, idiot. If you happen to shoot the flagship while it's in the air like that, it will actually, the other ships will stop firing for a few seconds, in honor of their fallen flagship. I admit, I don't usually do a lot of talking. Thank you for the card. Thank you, Vin. I have to admit, I don't do a great deal of talking when I play this game. But one of my fondest memories of this game is something, because I'm just a jackass. I was over at Grand Prix Race Mama, which at that time was the world's largest arcade. It housed over 1,000 games. Okay, get away from you guys. And what happened was that some guy was watching me play. He was like, just staring at me, playing the game. And I'm playing the game just like I normally play here. Missed. That's not gonna happen. And he was just like intensely watching me. And then he decided, this is a place where it has like several of them all in a row. And instead of, okay, good game or whatever, like that, no, he has to play right next to me. Despite the fact there's like 5 of them. And it's like he's trying to compete with me, I guess. And I was just like, you know what, whatever. So I completely ignore this. And then he plays like he's about to break the machine, which they never encourage, of course, over at the arcade. And, yeah. Okay, I'm surprised that's pretty bad. Okay. Anyway, and he's going through game after game. I'm still on my first level. That's when you don't want to double shit, by the way. And I pissed him off, and I don't know, I didn't actually need to do that. But I did, and it's like, okay. Sorry, buddy. I've been playing this game since its debut. What do you want? Jesus. Stage 10. It goes back to a bit of retro. They don't pirate you on this one. Like I said, yeah, I'm okay at this game. I'm not the best player. I've done a couple of tournaments here or there, back in my youth. But why do some gamers... Exactly, they're so insecure. Yeah, I'm not going to get this one. Okay, and there's my flag. Okay, so I've botched the middle one. That's alright. But like I said, you play the game the way you want to. And I guess he didn't like the way that I didn't do double ship or any of that. And I don't. I have my reasons, like I said. You're that much of a bigger target. You're now twice the size. And when they get in those corners, that's for you at that moment. Oh, yeah. Fast down. Okay. And there we go. Like, hit him or something? Well, there goes my percentage. There it goes. Perfect. Stage 13, lucky me! Like I said, this is a game I literally will play forever. I have played forever. Folks over Grand Prix hated seeing me on a Friday night, for example. But you have to pay for an entry. You have to pay for an entry, though. And that's because of jerks like me. And I will be on one machine for a couple hours. I'm not really trying today. And I don't usually talk all of this. I'm not giving it my all. Okay, Galaxians make their triumphant return. Challenging stage. They're coming from here. Yes. Oh, Mr. Weekly. Alright. Almost. Yep, that one with the flagships did me in. I have a new follower. So far, it's now off the screen. I'll get back to that one in just a moment. So ever grateful. Put me over the 180 mark. I'm really so appreciative. Thank you very much, all of you, for following me. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot to me. Yeah. But it's one way to get in. Welcome, new person. Thank you, then. So the highest number of waves I've actually gone through is over 100. I forget what it is. I think it's like 105. So I finally give up. That's the most I've left up there in quite some time. I've not been playing for a while because I went through two of my longest songs on my playlist. I was playing Buzzline. That's another 6 minutes going down, presuming I actually survive. So that's what, 17, 18 coming up. Here we go. 20 minutes? Okay, that's not bad. But this may not be a 2-hour stream. The next game I'm going to play is the direct sequel to this game. Yes, it did get a sequel back in 1984. And, thought this game was hard. It's even harder. Yeah, I tell you, my ratio when it comes to this is lousy. Thank you. Alright. Thank you for the fart. Here we go. Fart sounds make better fail for this game. Thank you. I don't know, just not even trying getting over 128,000 points. That's not a fail. But like I said, that's hardly my high score. My high score is but hey, who's counting? Anyway, that's Galaga. That is the game. Like I said, it is my all-time favorite game. I would play another. Well, yeah, I'd probably. Why not? For the reason being, 20,000, okay. For the reason being is that the next game I'm going to play, I'm nowhere near as good. I don't play it as often either because of that. It was featured in the original Namco Museum. Remember that 5-disc collection for PlayStation? There's one of those. 4 or 5. They call it Galaga 3, as opposed to Gapless. It's much slower than it was seconds ago. Alright. And I happen to just really enjoy playing it. The game's had some up, yeah. Feels like Xevious and Kicks. You know, games like, you look at it, it's like, is it really pronounced that way? Yep, right so. Generic take, yeah, well, it's easy to name something unique when it never existed. Okay. Oh, that's a sucky one. Oh, that could have been so much better. Ah. But, like, you hear the game kick, so what do you think of? Do you think of a puzzle game? Of course not. I think of a cereal. But it's spelled QIX. Xevious? Well, sounds like medical equipment. Nurse, can you hand me that Xevious over there, please? But, there you go. Good miss, all the way around. Perfect. Now, as far as home version is concerned, we did do an arcade versus console on this months and months ago. There aren't that many home versions, especially back in the original generations before Crash. As a matter of fact, there were none. Did not exist. The first home version was post-Crash for the Atari 7800. It was supposed to come out in 1984, to be fair. It came out in 1986 because they shelved the 7800 for literally a couple of years, and they had no intentions of putting it out there. They were made, they were sitting in a warehouse and everything. And they had no intention on delivering it. It wasn't until, clean this. It wasn't until Nintendo had their success with the NES. There you go. So it came out in 1986 instead. And it was a decent version. Not perfect, nowhere near as fast as this original game. In fact, probably the best home version was coming from a company called Bandai. That's the same Bandai who they merged with years later. For the NES. And originally in Japan for the Famicom, it was actually by Namco, N-A-M-C-O-T. That would be the home division of Namco, because Namco didn't have a home division here yet. I didn't have a North American presence until the early 1990s, early to mid-1990s. They actually put out games through Midway or Atari, as a rule. Ooh, close. Very close. If I knew I was going to do that, why did I do it? I have no idea. I can answer questions. Anyway. Now, if I would have like seconds or thirds as far as favorite, it would be the Pac-Man games. Ms. Pac-Man and Pac-Man. Yet I'm so associated with Pac-Man largely because of my initials. And the fact that I played it at any breathing moment. But same is said for here as well. Yeah, you're gonna go away. No, you're not gonna go away. Oh, that's right, you're the spotty one. Alright. How can I miss all that? Okay, wow. You know what? You know what? Fine. Pac-Man Fever? Well, I did have the album. Did play it a lot. Practically wore the grooves off it. And I was one of those kids. I like them music. They were not masterpieces by any sense of the word. My absolute worst ever. But like I said, I had a thing for learning game mechanics. And I love how a game works, why it works. Quick fail horns, they were quite deserving in this case. Agree with you 500%. Oh, I couldn't get out of the way fast enough. Hugger. Thank you, good Mark. in this round. Oh, Galaga in the back. And believe it or not, I bought an arcade board for this. This is back when I was like super heavy collecting, as opposed to nowadays where I just have it running. I actually got from Japan, Namco Galaga board, knowing that it would actually fit my Pac-Man because they use the same hardest. In fact, from the manufacturer's standpoint, they did that a lot. Again, this is before they had a universal fitting, pajama fitting. Get it! Suck. Oh, goody. Goody. Yes, I did say goody. 51-year-old man saying goody. Live on the internet. Okay. Not bad. Okay. Always those damn flagships. Anywho. Remember that to include that into your vernacular. Goody. You'll thank me later. Perfect for any mid-life jargon, lexicon, whatever. Sometimes you just have to have a little patience. Oops. Or sometimes you just get out of the way. Okay. Well, at least I improved my hit-miss ratio. Thank you. Didn't get anywhere near that score. I think it largely had to do with a lot with that completely blown up bonus round. Challenging stage. Alrighty. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to switch up games here in a second. So in order to do that, we're going to put back on my stupid little face. Alright. And we got to turn that off. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Alright, we're going to take a break here for a second. Going to run a couple ads. Make a little bit of teeny amount of revenue, and we're going to come up with the follow-up to this game. In 1984, Namco said, you know what, we're going to make this game even harder. We're going to give you a lot more wiggle room to play with it as well, and F you, and that's going to be called Gapless. And that's going to be about 1 minute from now. Stand by. Ah, good old Gapless. I remember seeing this for the first time as well, and I'm thinking, why? It fiddled with perfection, literally. I'm not going to say too much about on ads. But that's literally how it is. Yeah, I love the viewer tally there at the top of the screen. It actually just for a second said 0. In fact, one stream it said 0 throughout its entirety. So, yeah, there might be a problem with that. So I'm looking at the general info of this game. It is not working perfectly. Its graphics and sounds are imperfect. Okay. And welcome back. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you watching the VOD too. Don't catch this live, which is a great possibility because I do this early on Saturdays. Weeknights are JRPG nights, and Saturdays are, well, whatever I feel like playing. So there's always that. Let's go ahead and get back to gameplay. Now we haven't activated the game yet. I was looking over all of the ROM set and everything like that. It is working, but it is imperfect. I think that is a proper description of Gapless. To be absolutely fair. Alright, so let's take a look at this game. Well, similar logo and everything like that. Let's turn this down because it does get loud. Here we go. Thank you. You'll thank me later. Let's say, so the first time I saw this, I'm like, okay, it seems familiar. I do like the 3D star effect. And then I'm looking at all the ships coming by and like, holy shit, what the hell? And yeah, this is the track mode here is a perfect example of how this game is played. It's very similar again to Galaga, except they can't come from all the same places. You actually get a heavier playing field. You get to do silly things like that. And you ask yourself, why would I do that? Well, they can join your little party. You actually capture them. Oh, what a neat twist! Sure was, yeah. And there you go, and that's a prime example. Now, if you could actually play with such precision, yeah. That sound was annoying? Well, it's very similar to the flagship from Galaga. But in this case, because you capture that piece, you can actually now capture them. And that is the little turnaround. So, let's throw a credit in here. Okay. Ownership at 50,000. Wow. 150,000 for the next one. Thereafter, nobody knows, because probably nobody ever got there. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, my 3P ship. Oh. And they already come down at you. Oh, yeah. Okay. And now I have a small army. Of course, I'm also 4 times bigger now. By the way, did you know they can come underneath you too? And they fire at you and that's even worse. So if you happen to lose your main ship, you lose all your other ships too. And you get to start the whole damn round over again, from scratch. But again, this is kind of like an FU to all the good players of Galaga back in the day. To me, it's like combining Centipede and Galaga and saying, wait a minute, they don't mix. Right! That's exactly right. Glad we got that. Got that little message for us. Lost the capture ship, that's fine. Miss Galaga? Oh yeah, and the stages actually have multiple stages within the stage. Pardon me. A lot of near misses? Or near collisions, I should say. They look more like bugs than ever before. It's spilling out. That's not bad. There you go. Can I do anything with that? It's just going to sit down there. It's just going to sit down there. Because I couldn't pick it up because I'm stupid. Oh, yeah. Let's try it one more time. That's it for me. See where I am on the vanity table. Nowhere. Okay, that's fair. That, my friends, is gapless. I guess that thing's just gonna sit down there for all time. Yeah, perfect. Perfect start. So like I said, they found a way to make it harder successfully, but two things kind of went against this game. A, the video game crash. While it didn't affect arcades greatly, it did stop a lot of game productions and it declined revenue. Video games did fall out of favor. There you go. Almost perfect round, except I died. One of the biggest successes also, as far as this game and any of the other Galagas, is that you want to get them while they're in formation. Yeah, you don't get a lot of points for that, sure, but it certainly saves you a lot of headaches when you start doing this part. There you go. Perfect. And here comes the suck fest. Here we go. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, you want to try to spell out the word bonus, but I got boy. Because of course. Boy. Okay. Next one. Oh yes, this is where I suck. There you go. And let the repeat continue. Well, repeat performance, literally. Yep, and they just keep coming at you, and there you go. Yeah, this doesn't have the charm of Galaga, that's for sure. That's for sure. Otherwise, not too terrible. Not too terrible. Let's see something here for a second. 40 minutes. Yeah, we're probably going to do a slightly short stream because A, this is a really short subject matter. I do apologize for that. But like I said, this is from a discussion from last week. And it's just a streamable game. And I would argue this particular one, gapless, no. Galaga, maybe, but you have to have rather intense patience with the streamer. It requires a great deal of concentration. Despite the fact that it's my chill game. Okay. Although I do like the attract mode. Oh, that's why, because these sounds, yeah, I know. Well, like I said, so the minimum score is 50,000. Let's see, I didn't even come close on that first game. Alright, that works.
Oh, and yeah, your blood type was kind of big on that, too.
I'll check this one. Challenging stage. You can have up to 7. Up to 7 as your, so easily get that bonus, which is, I think, we're trying to demonstrate here in the attract mode. As much as I love Namco, as much as I love Namco, and I bought all 5 of the discs from the PlayStation era, Namco Museum. I could see why they really didn't need to do 5 discs.
They practically brought out every single arcade game they ever made.
Now, in 1988, they introduced yet another
Galaga.
strangely called Galaga 88. I actually got the TurboGrafx because it had Galaga 90,
Which is the same game, it's just
a couple of years because that's when it came out. And I absolutely fell in love with the game. Unlike Gapless here, which they fiddled with perfection and kind of missed the mark, in Galaga 88, they kind of took some of the elements that you see here in Gapless and they kind of improved upon it. And we're going to discover that in just a moment. But first, we're going to take a break. So we're going to hit pause. Just going to let the music run.
And we'll be back in a minute.
What the capture beam? That's not music. All right, if you're talking about the music playing in the background, well, some jackass came up with all that. You'll see his name at the end of the stream, because we don't raid on Saturdays. So there you go. Oh, I'll just go to it right now. There it is. That jerk there did the music. He is no good. All right, so having said that. Well, that's the thing with the sound effects. Then, Galaga was a perfect game as far as that's concerned. The only sound effect that didn't generate from the board itself was the explosion, which is actually a sample. But again, it was perfection. Galaga is a perfect game as far as I'm concerned. And I use the word perfect in a rather screwed up way. Usually, when I refer to something as perfect, it's so deeply flawed that it couldn't stand any test.
But with exception, I give Galaga a perfect score because it is completely playable. Any gender can play it, any age can play it. You don't have to master it, but you certainly will enjoy it. And that's a perfect game. And I don't give that little notion out lightly. I don't give out compliments like lollipops either. That's just it's a me thing. And I can get away with that because I've been doing this for so damn long. And it's hard to get a perfect game. It really is. All right, speaking of which, let's go ahead and switch back up to the vertical screen. I'm going to go ahead and get right back to it. All righty. And we have a blank screen. I haven't started up yet. Okay, so... Oh, my theme song. So, we... remember seeing this for the first time once again over Grand Prix, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? And one of the crew come up and says, "Oh, it's a brand new game. We just got it, Galaga 88." And by this time, Marty's already gone. He's moved on to other things. So I'm now left to my own devices, and I could ride my bike up to the big arcade I mentioned before. And yeah, Galaga 88. So let's go ahead and get this started, shall we? Let's take a look at it. Beautiful star field. Oh, a star base. And a beautiful... Turn that up. I didn't realize it was that low. There we go.
Okay, so you'll see things that... okay, that looks familiar. We've seen that before. Perfect. And then you look at it and say, wait a minute, I don't remember this. And here you go. Well, that's easy. Yeah, you get the shot up and be up. Boy, what a great attract mode that was. It says 1987 Namco. This is not the, this is the Japanese version, I take it. The North American version was released by Atari. It did get released in 1988. And basically, there's some extra tidbits in this game that kind of makes it a bit more challenging, yet not as horrible. So you want to catch that. Catch 2 of those, you can do a time warp. You can actually go into a different dimension. But again, once again, you risk being hit doubly so because you can still double ship. So go ahead and put a credit in there. There you go. Sounds familiar. And you can start off with a single or start off with a double. And we're going to start off with a single. Because that's how I play. If you don't like it, too effing bad. Get your own game. Stream your own stream. Something. Okay, no more going up and down. It's not like Centipede anymore. And some neat little visual effects and sound effects too. Faster, harder, like the 6 million. There you go. And they can combine too. Oh my goodness. And they start off. So it's like, good job. Just fly right into the damn thing. So it starts off kind of like, with Pac-Man Plus. Starts off faster, badder, and all that kind of shit. Also did this. They have their own little patterns and tendencies and all that kind of neat stuff. Once again, you got flagships, rear guards. I remember seeing a trailer for Pixels when I first saw it. Thinking, oh, wow. No, it's seeing that big Galaga hanging out in the sky like that. I'm thinking, that's fantastic. Then I saw it was an Adam Sandler film. I'm not a huge fan of Adam Sandler, although I do like a couple of his movies. Yeah, bye. Like 51st Dates, for example. I just don't like his schlock. That could be better. Oh yeah? Same to you. I'm just gonna stay in this one. Like I said, collect 2 of those crystals and you kind of jump the timeline or jump the dimension. Right off the bat. Thank you. Get out of the way. Oh, make it that much harder. Okay. Multiple ways of getting those crystals. I don't feel like it today. So, yeah. Still in Dimension 1. So while the game is much harder than the original, I mean, it starts off hard, don't get me wrong, but it's still playable. That's the kind of stuff I like. So I stay in that one dimension. That's my progression throughout the game. You can see there's quite a bit of progress to go through. I get it halfway decent. This ratio. I believe I will actually have an entry right there. There you go.
couldn't jump off the screen and stop me. Sorry about that. So it takes over my mouse for certain games. For whatever reason, it takes over my mouse for all the Galaga games, and I can't figure out why. This is definitely not a mouse and keyboard game. This was built for a joystick. And yes, you can have a triple ship as well. Again, you're extra wide. I'm gonna wish you had it. But I was really super just happy to see this game. So let's do it one more time. And we're going to once again do the single. I just don't like the dual. Just don't do that. I love the backgrounds. Did a beautiful job of this. Right off the bat. Good job. Wow. Everyone firing. Got none of them. Boy, I'm doing great here, guys. Fantastic. Yep. I've seen people do this too. I'm going to do this. I'm more important this game. Okay, there's a problem with this. Game's over because I have no other ships. And I've seen people actually do that in the original Galaga. For the life of me, either they're not thinking or, okay, I'll get another ship. Wait a minute, I have no other ships. Damn it. So like I said, this is one of the few, I have strange reasons for buying consoles. A lot of times it's because I want a game. So that means I'm spending what? $30 for the game, back in those days, and maybe $150, $200 for a console. So essentially I'm buying spending a couple $100 just for a video game. Well, I could at the time. Nowadays, I can't imagine doing that. Yet my daughter finally got a PS5. That's a lot of money. She won't do that. Take it from me. It's an expensive hobby. Good job. It's an expensive hobby. I got a Dragon Slayer Laserdisc. No chance in playing it because I don't have the hardware for it. I have a Laserdisc player. No, I have the actual programming for it. Stay away. There you go. Overpriced gaming has, it has. I know there's been complaints about spending premium dollars for downloads, and I get that. Remember, it's still a lot of work. The artists themselves, they have to get paid, and the company's trying to make a profit off of this. He's just not getting a physical copy, but I get that. You're not getting the box art or the manual or a beautiful looking disc or anything like that. So I see both sides to that. Like I said, on the other hand, they still have to pay their artists. They still have to pay the programmers, the people who work on the thing. They deserve the recognition. It's a hard line of work. Literally try to appeal and, please the masses. Good job. Got one more game to play after this. Then we'll probably wrap it up. Yay! Yeah, just go away. Thank you. It doesn't even play games. I would agree if the developers actually got money, but it goes to some suit. Well, that's how it works. That's how it works in any industry, whether it be television, movies,
any form of broadcasting? Trust me, I know. I wasn't making the dough either. But that's just how it works.
For this game.
Alright. Not too bad. But but like I said, it's an expensive hobby.
I got TurboGrafx 16, which was from Hudson Soft NEC, and they saw one of the titles was Galaga 90, and said, this can't be. And I looked at yep, it is. It's Galaga 88 for all home, and it's not as exactly this because the television dimension is wrong, but it's pretty damn close. And I will love it in a second.
Okay, I actually made it to the vanity table yet again. With its goofball music. Like, yeah, you made a near perfect game. You put in that kind of music. Why? Alright, our next game, in fact, our final game for this
particular session, let's see where we at, 58 minutes?
Try to stretch this out to an hour and a half.
That looks like it's not going to happen.
So, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to take a break. We're going to run about 2 minutes worth of ads in this particular break, and we'll be back with our final game, Galaga. Wait a minute. It's been Galaga all along. Right. Not quite like this. Back in a second. You stay right there, please. Stand by. No, it's the wrong screen. Wrong screen. Pause. Oh, you're still playing. Killing me. So Namco was making a lot of games in the 90s. Again, they just established their North American presence. I'll go for that. A little bit more in elaboration with the...
at the conclusion of the break.
But, having said that, they came on like gangbusters in the 90s. And they literally came out with a killer fighting game. To this day, it's the longest running story arc for a fighting game. It's been going on for what? 24 years now? No. Can't be. It'll be 30 years. It'll be 30 years this year, as a matter of fact.
It's amazing. They made the series without any reboot whatsoever. It's just a continuation from its first game through its recently released 8th game. I find that quite nice. Being a fan of the series. But also, they're one of my favorite developers. Publishers. Collaborators. Hey, we got about 30 seconds left. We're going to play the game twice over. Try to get as much time as I can out of this thing. We will conclude no later than 1:30 hour. Yeah.
Daylight savings time. Oh, I hate daylight savings times. I hate it. Alrighty. Ads are coming back. I'll read your comment in just a second there as soon as we get back online there. And welcome back there. Hey, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. I was going to ask if you were talking about Soul series, rather. It was rebooted if you mean Tekken's lost its plot. Well, yeah, Tekken. We're talking. I conversed during the ads here, but don't go into great elaboration. I was talking about Namco. Namco made a massive presence of itself in North America in the mid-1990s. In fact, they didn't start publishing any home games until roughly around that time. When the earliest ones I remember, they published their own Pac-Man for the NES. The NES was on its way out by this point. But what was neat was it was the same exact Pac-Man that was already put out there by Tengen. Because Tengen actually had an official Nintendo license, and Tengen was Atari. And Namco and Atari had a very good relationship, unlike Namco and Midway when Midway decided to exploit all of it. So, having said that, yeah, they just literally say, you know what, we're going to make our own presence here in North America, and they did in grand fashion. And one of the early arcade games they put out was Tekken. And Tekken still around today. But unlike some of the other series out there, like Mortal Kombat, for example, Street Fighter, they never rebooted the story. It's still the same. It's gotten really weird. It's like a really oddball soap opera. But nevertheless, it's the same story from 30 years ago. I can't believe it's a 30-year-old game. Will be this summer. So, final game. Namco started producing their own games here in North America. There's another early example from 1996. And they started kind of redoing their old classics, games that established their presence in the video game market in the first place. And with Volume 1, one of the games that happened to be one of their most popular games, of course, would be Galaga. It was a showcase game, this one. They also did a Xevious, and I forget the third game. We'll see that when it comes up on the screen. But they made two of them here in North America as well, and the other one had Pac-Man. I think would be in the first one, but it wasn't. And Rally X and Dig Dug. Yes, they made Dig Dug, remember. They made a lot of cool, super games back in that era. So let's go ahead and switch over. Actually, let me get it loaded first, because I like to do that before I hit the screen. Okay. And let's turn this down, because it will be loud. Oh, it's not that loud. Okay. Let's keep it as is. Let's hit pause. All right. Let's take a look at the game, shall we? Go back to our vertical gameplay. I forgot there's actually arcade sounds in the background. That's not an arcade I recorded that from. Actually, that's me overlapping all the games I've been playing. And it sounds like an arcade. But one of them, there's a couple of pinball tables in there that kind of adds a neat echo effect. Okay, so let's go ahead and unpause this game. Okay, so this is Namco Classics Volume 1. Not to be confused with Namco Museum. Mappy, I forgot about Mappy. Mappy, cool game. So we're going to take a look at Galaga first. Yeah. And they have the original and, of course, the arrangement. We're going to concentrate on the arrangement here for the most part. And like I said, they took 3 of their classic games, and then they kind of reinvented 3 of their classic games. So let's take a look at this one. I'm going to go up to Galaga, and then we're going to choose arrangement. Alrighty, now take a look at this one. Galaga on steroids. 1 player. Oh, that's so cool! Alright, first thing, I'm going to pause the game real fast. I forgot this game has a soundtrack, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause my music. I mean, that Jackass's music. And let's go back to this and play. Probably got 400 for that. But wait, it's supposed to pause the game whenever you die. Nope, not here. It's a steroids asteroids. Galaga. So they kind of took some gapless gameplay and threw this in here, and of course I get hit. You can continue, which I plan on doing. I wish they put in the first one there, but they never did. They come down at you like that, that's a capture move. I'll be done with it. Okay. A lot of them disappear. Yeah. So once again, Grand Prix Racerama was a source of incredible gameplay for me back in the day, simply because of the fact that they were a showcase gaming floor. Every single game that they had there was for sale. And for the right price, if you want to take it home, hey, the owners will sell it to you. Unfortunately, they sold some of my favorite games. That was close. As you see, they threw some shitballs at me. There you go. Hey, I got them all. Challenging stage. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh my god, I'm getting sick. It is rather distant. Jesus. That is rather the distortion is just so incredible. It's disorienting. Love it. Now there is one other entry which we will not play here because I can't fit it inside either the computer or this room, for the matter of fact, because it was its own room. And it was called Galaxian 3. Galaxian 3 was a rail shooter game. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I was about to say, how the hell did I get away from that one? Yeah, we're gonna... Oh, yes, let me this one. Did manage to shoot him. Not too bad. Yes, he only took half the ship. Really cool feature. So this game was absolutely brilliant. Not perfect. I'm afraid that's near impossible from the original Galaga. Boy, did it try. See, I'm cornered. I hate that. Jesus. Just when you thought it was over. It's never over. Oh, get away. Get some away from that section. Okay. There you go. Perfect. Almost perfect. Not even close. Works for me. Here's my afterlife. Oh, gonna corner me again. Yep. If you have any questions about any of the games that you see for today, and we're going to continue. Just give me or games in general. Go ahead and feel free to ask. I might actually know a couple things. Maybe. Why are the sounds so annoying? I disagree. I don't find them annoying at all. The fact that it even has its own soundtrack is pretty freaking cool. Now, the funny part is, I don't believe the arrangement was actually made for home use for a long time. I know the Pac-Man arrangement was available for things like the Game Boy Advance. And Pac-Man arrangement is the same arrangement. Hey, you suck. Yeah, Catherine. Okay. Well, not bad. Oh, good lord. Yep, let the vertigo continue. Okay, so far, so good. Ah, missed one. Missed a bunch. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Better than the last one. Okay, here we go. That was pretty fast, I have to admit. Okay. Oh, lost my ship. Almost flew right into it, and that's it.
Well, I'm just not that enough.
Ah, one more. One more for the road. So I will hit as soon as I hit end stream. I do enjoy playing this for you all out there. Catch some VODs. Sooner or later we'll hit the YouTube backup channel. There we go. See, I'm getting in the high 70s. They play some tonight? It depends. Let's see how London the Last is doing. I miss her playing streams with me. We will get that fixed soon. Ah, stream stickers with its canned response. Oh, that was my last life. It was not. That is my last life. Okay. Oops, I hit another credit. Silly me. Hit the wrong button again. Datas. And wait, there's more. Triplo more. Oh my god. Nice. So it has elements of Gapless, has elements, of course, of Galaga. And just an absolute brutal game. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. So this would be the game where if I were to have my $5 for entry at Grand Prix, oh yeah, I'd be playing this thing. Okay. Had 2 flagships. Had 2 flagships. 82%, not too bad. Challenge changed after this. Yeah, make it. The unlimited continues in my case. Why not? I was invincible, so I couldn't pick me up yet. Oh, Jesus. Love how they cling to the side of the screen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm getting seasick already. Ah, I missed one. Ah, missed 2. I'm gonna miss a bunch here. My goodness. 31. That's not terrible, considering how disorienting that is. Holy cow. Oh yes. One of the FU stages. Yep.
Let's see, how much time?
One more. Trust me, it won't last long. Oh, Jesus. The old... Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. Trying to capture beam, that's a nightmare. I cannot believe I survived that. Holy cow. Moving on. The music's so damn flip. Okay, that's it. No, I got life. Okay, that's it. Okay. Holy crap. I love it. Yes, let's go right to that. All right. There you go. 57.9%, almost 58%. Not bad. One of my better efforts. Okay, that. Oh, got to go through numbers. That's me. Old Pac-Man indeed. Namco Classics Collection Volume 1. You find the arrangement of Galaga. Oh, I miss those days. We're going to play original or arrangement? Still a good game. All right. Let's go ahead and get off that. And let's go over here because I think we're going to wrap it up here. All right. Here I am. Yay. Well, I had a great time. Thank you, Vin, for joining me. Appreciate it, as always. I'm so glad to get the original studio back up here. That's what you see now. And if you like what you saw after you watched the VOD, you mind following me? I greatly would appreciate it. Oh, I forgot to thank the recent follower. Where the hell are you? You're down here. Go ahead and put it on screen. 754. Thank you very much for following me. Appreciate it. That a couple days ago. I'm on my way now to 190 followers. If you also would like to check out my YouTube page, you can like and subscribe to that as well. I've got a bunch of videos there. Some of them are about a couple of weeks old. I'm trying to update them now. In fact, I just threw on 6 new videos to that just last night. So check them all out. We're currently playing. Was that Lunar the Silver Star on Sega CD? We're doing that Monday night, Thursday night until we beat it, and we're close to beating it right now, as a matter of fact. So we're going to get another game up soon. Also have an Instagram page of all the crap that I've been collecting over the last 47 years of gaming. And let's see, Instagram and Twitter, X Twitter, whatever. We'll see you next time. I hope to see you Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, Daylight Savings Time. We'll see you then. Lunar the Silver Star. We got to meet up with Galen. It's time for a rematch. Have a good weekend. Bye. Check out Billy Jackson's art on twitter.com/BillyGraphics. He did all the art here and some jackass did the music.